So I have been, I've been thinking a lot about the future lately. I had that meeting with the job center last week, and it was a phone call, and she makes notes from the meeting and send the report to me and file it in my file. And I said at the meeting that I was considering applying for a job at a free school, a private school, or an online school, because I was feeling better and that was an easier choice. But when I got the notes from her, she wrote that I had concluded that that was what I was going to do. And so I had been looking at a job advertisement for that private school. It's a very tiny school. I think it's a year or 2 years old, very new. And when it's a free school, we don't talk about money-wise being a free school. We're talking about the foundation of the school and their values. They call that free. So it's a little different from the public school that most people attend, and which is very common schools in Denmark. And public schools are high quality, usually high quality in Denmark, just as high as private schools. Anyway, when I read that, I have said, that's a job advertisement. I take a screenshot and I also follow them on Facebook, and I noticed that you had to apply before a certain date in April, so I'm still in good time. But I really don't want to. I really, really don't want to. And I didn't know that until I read what she wrote about me, because that made me think and feel and just stop for a second. And really, I've just come to the conclusion that I'm done dealing with other parents' children. Parents are annoying, and other people's children are annoying. Don't get me wrong. I love children, and I actually love my job. And it's not a problem if that's all I'm doing. If I'm just teaching, I'm perfectly fine doing that. And I don't mind that there are obstacles. I don't mind that it's hard for some children. I actually enjoy that part, when it's really hard and you sit down with the student and you try and figure out why it's hard and what's bugging them. And then sometimes you just crack it and they shine. I love that part. But then it's so unpredictable. Out of nowhere, you receive a mail from a parent and they're upset about something, and you're like, you didn't even see it coming, and you're like, what is this about? And you just never know, and that part I hate. And at some point, I've tried that more than once. It gives you a tummy ache to open your mail because you're afraid what it says. Especially if you were in a situation where you have tried to do the right by these parents, whatever they're complaining about, you're just trying to, smooth it out and correct it, or whatever you did wrong, you didn't know you did wrong. And you can't make them happy again, because they have decided that you are the bad person here. And then all their problems is just your fault. So, and that kind of things, I just don't want to deal with that anymore. And the thing is, I was on that private school's Facebook page, and they were sharing views from parents, children that hadn't even started school yet. And the parents were explaining why they chose the school. And their hopes and dreams are just sky high. And when they have so high expectations, and that's fine. I can meet one set of parents' expectations perfectly. But then you have 15, 20, 28. You can't meet them all. And some will get upset. And when they're paying for the school out of their own pocket and having all these dreams and expectations, they're going to tell you if they don't like it. I'm pretty sure. And I just don't want to, I'm just sick of it. Like, as a teacher, you do your very, very, very best. And you go above and beyond often. And then still, they get upset with you. So I kind of feel like I want a job where I don't have that kind of responsibilities. I'm so sick of making choices. I'm so sick of having to decide stuff. I'm just so sick of it. I'm over it. So I want a job where, I don't know. As a teenager, I was working at a burger restaurant, and that was kind of nice. I didn't make a living because I was living with my parents and I was just a teenager, but nice and carefree. I would like a job that is just carefree. Can you, does that exist? Can you have that? I would like that. Anyway, I'm rambling again now. So, yeah. Don't want to be a teacher. Next time I have a conversation, I have a meeting with Job Center. She offered me to have a job coach. So I'm going to ask for that. I'm ready for that because I don't want to be a teacher. And then yet again, I'm not that worried about the future because I will find something to do. I'm pretty sure. And I can be a substitute too. It's funny because I don't want to be a teacher, but I don't mind being a substitute teacher because then you don't have the responsibility. So maybe I'll do that for a little while. I don't know. But also that's not a steady income. So we'll have to see what happens in the future. But I'm still not worried. Not at all. I still have months to go, and even when we hit August, I still have a huge pile of money because of the extra money I got. So yeah, I'm not worried about the future, but I really don't want to be a teacher. And yeah. So it's the next day, but I just want to add to that because as I was I was looking for the knee pad yesterday. I ran into a guy from my past. When we went to college together, studying to be teachers, we went to London together, and we were part of the same project together, even though he was a year ahead of me. He's also still a teacher, but mostly he's a politician. So he only teaches on Fridays, he told me yesterday. But we were talking, and I told him about my situation. It's funny how sometimes you haven't talked to... We didn't even know when the last time was that we saw each other. But I have been a teacher for almost 20 years, and he was ahead of me, so it's been a while since... And that was the first year of me, so that was back in first year of me being in college. So that's back in 2000. So it was a really long time ago that we, on a regular basis, were talking. Anyway, he works at the biggest private school in Silkeborg, which is, I worked at a public school in Silkeborg and he worked at a private school. And so I was talking about the whole issues about public schools, because there are a lot of issues because they are underfunded, and it's all about politics instead of what makes sense, and science, about students and children and people in general and whatnot. Anyway, so he said a couple of things about working at a private school. I think he worked at that school for just as long as I worked at my school. And he was like, it's just so easy because you know who you answer to. Because I was complaining about that the leader of my school isn't in that job because he's there for the school. He's there for his own resume. And he's there, this particular leader has never taught in a public school. Never. So he has no idea how it is to teach in a public school. So we're talking about that, and he said, I always know how it is. And he made a really strong point about, you know, they know their funding. When you're in a public school, and if there's suddenly a issue with the budgets in the road and gardening compartment, whatever they're called, I don't know what they're called. If they spend too much money on, for instance, snow in winter time, then they have to take the money from somewhere else, and maybe they will take it from schools. So you never really know. And that has happened a couple of times, that suddenly you can't do anything, we have to save money. So you never really know what's up and down. And we have been used to that for so long at my old school, that things were just really bad, that we couldn't buy anything because we didn't have any money. And we couldn't be extra teachers in the classes, and we couldn't do anything, basically. We had no money. At one point we had a leader who bought spoons for the teachers' lounge. That was a big deal, because we had no spoons. Or forks for that matter. And you brought something to school that you wanted to eat, for instance soup, leftovers from the day before, and you couldn't eat it if you didn't bring a spoon from home. So I was very impressed when she bought spoons. So yeah, so now I'm back to second guessing. I don't know. So maybe what I really should do was go there and meet them and see what it was like, and then make a decision from there, because it is the easier choice to be a teacher again, because that's an income. Private school teachers are not paid as much as the public school teachers. But I don't feel like going back to a public school. They are not the same, and I really like my daughter's school. They seem to have pretty good funding, but I don't want to work at my daughter's school. Anyway, I have no idea, but luckily I still have 4 months. 3 months? 4 months? 4 months. So, yeah. So I know I have not made a decision, and I'm not going to, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I just want to stay. It's okay, you know, to not know for right now. So there, those were my thoughts. Have a nice day.